Well, I'm having my own personal shift today. Today is the do or die time. Um, I have been not looking after myself for the last since September. I knew I was. I did post a video. I believe it was like August, September, where I was really going to smoke twice as much and um, really push myself over an edge because it just seems like we change when we push when we're at that edge, and it's like that's when you should or get off the pot. And I've been struggling with this smoking addiction because um, didn't feel like there was much hope in the world to make a big change, and it's like the smoking addiction is constantly that little voice in my head that says, "Oh, don't bother trying." One person can't make a difference. Like my world is going to be hell. Why bother trying? I am stuck in that and needed. I'm asking my smoking addiction what it needed. What was the recipe that would get me to where I need to be? And I've been following the recipe of everything that would help me to quit smoking. And like everybody might have their ideas, but it's like it's only your perception. I know what it is I need because I'm, communicating with this problem and it's telling me everything it wants. And, ultimately, when you give your problem what it wants, you're ultimately giving something to yourself. But yourself will make a lot of excuses, and you have to sort of like, at the end of the day, all of the reasoning, all of those voices in my head that are saying, just go for that smoke, there comes a time where it's like, okay, everything that I wanted showed up, so now what's your excuse? And I haven't got like those chemical experiences that make me really excited to get up every day, and everything that I had when I had that, oh, I love life. Even though I was surviving, I still had this thing inside me that no way was this going to get me. I don't have that stronger than the universe feeling like I did before I just like found out the whole bigger picture, because it was like, oh my god, this is so much bigger than me. And basically, to overcome this, it's like you got to put yourself in a position where you're bigger than it. And while the smoking addiction seems like it's just a small thing, the smoking for me is a representative of the global problems to me. So that's where the logic, you can get the best. When I, got on this welfare system and, went to the medical professionals and found out they weren't there, I ended up making some complaints to my government that, I'd like, some professionals that actually show up. And they literally told me, I got a meeting with some of the upper ups in the medical care, and they told me, we don't have medical expertise that can help you. And at the end of the day, it was like, you know what, my complaint is you cancel your appointments and don't show up. How do you conclude that you can't help me because you don't have enough educated people? You telling me your people aren't educated enough to show up for an appointment? Because after all you need to do is just listen to me. I can figure it out if I just had another body to communicate with. So it's in my world that my experience have been saying that we don't know how to get you out of your own logic. Like the insanity that you're using, we don't have the expertise to get you out of it, mostly because their expertise wanted to manipulate me into seeing oh, just go with the flow, oh, just accept everything. And it's like, why should I accept it? You know, like, they don't, in order for, you know, a professional to help me out of my insanity, they have to pretty much convince me not to care about my global situation, when I'm at the point where, you know what, if I don't care about my global situation, then that's going to kill my children. My children are a little bit important to me. So you throw back at the logic of, how do I let go of the need to change my globe when I know that globe is going to kill my kids or do some harm to my children? So, you know, there is no professional alive that could say any logic that would help me out of my own insanity. I mean, there's a lot of little tricks that, you know, why change the things that you can't? And it's like, well, where's your logic that says that I can't change those things? You know, just because you can't change those things, does that mean it's impossible? Let's get into the conversation about what's possible and what isn't possible. You know, isn't what is impossible is just your own friggin' limited mindset? So you can't tell me that just because global problems can't be solved doesn't mean that you can't solve global problems. So, but by me just ignoring it because you can't change everything, it convinces me to ignore it. Is that, you know, so you sort of see the insanity that letting go of this global need for a solution, that frustration of me knowing that I'm bigger than that problem, you know, to believe in myself, is that smoking addiction. And my smoking addiction told me, oh, you know, start YouTube and improve your communication skills, because, you know, frankly, people don't understand me, and let's face it, it's pretty wild. Nobody's talking about this shit. So, and as it turns out, everything you know to be true is false. So anything I'm saying, if what I'm saying is true, that means everybody else is false. So I'll look like I'm a judge, or it look like, you know, I know it all. It'll look like, you know, everything anybody wants to accuse me of. And it's like, I'm just dealing with different information than you. You know, I've been researching this since I was 3. I've seen things that other people don't see and wanted to have the scientific information that, you know, explains it. So it's like, here's the conversation. You know, the best medical professionals have tried to, you know, convince me I'm wrong, and the only thing they could say is, we can't pay people to have a conversation with you. You know, we don't have that science mindset that can deal with the logic that I'm dealing with. So it's like, you try. But ultimately, you got to be your own doctor. You got to be your own judger. You got to be, you know, everything you think is out there in the external world, just tell me what to do. You got to do that for yourself. So today is the shift that it's shit or get off the pot for me. Obviously, my communication skills are improving because I'm getting a few subscribers. I'm feeling the love. The love I was looking for, kind of found it. So it's like, okay, check, you know, computer check, website check, you know, like I got everything that I was like trying to create in my world that said, you know, as soon as I'm falling into what it is I love, then the smoking addiction will just disappear. So the next stage that I'm at is, you know, every time I'm having a cigarette, all of the thought is, you know, like, this is killing me. This is really killing me. I am paralyzed. I can't do anything. And I can see that this addiction is preventing me now from doing what it is that I want to do. So, my next challenge is there's going to be frustration that shows up. It will be in my face because evil likes to challenge you all the time. And it's not, you're just challenging yourself. It's like, my next rule is I'm stronger than evil, and I shall overcome, and I will get in control of my emotions. And as soon as evil shows up and I end up saying, oh, the life sucks, go for the smoke, I'm going to be saying, here's opportunity for me to change. Here's opportunity to be the example that I want to be for my kids. Here's the example of, how to get from the bottom and change it into something completely different. I'm gonna make some changes today. The full plan, of every time that thought comes up to have a cigarette is going to be the time that I'm going to be aware to say, you're stronger than that. You're alive. You love living, and this is your trap. I'm going to start really facing that every time a challenge comes my way, that I'm going to have more faith in myself. That, I got, maybe a few people got my back now, some of my subscribers. I'm not alone in the world. And then I know that I need to work out, and for some reason this week I've been sort of taking it easy because I really pushed myself too hard. And it's like, okay, why did that happen? And so I've been trying to reflect on that, and what I really, really want to do is get back to doing the same thing that worked for me in the past. And it's like get up early in the morning and do a workout. It gets my blood flowing, gets my thoughts on the right pattern, and all of that really helps. But also in my world, when I went to see this place, they introduced me to this workout that was more of a dance. And I've been saying all along that we shouldn't go and work out and force ourselves to do things we don't hate. You should love it. And when you're doing something that keeps you active, doing what you love doing, that's when you get in good shape. And dancing has been one of the things that I happen to love, and it's like I've been rejecting this dancing class because it's not in the morning, and it's, but you know what, that's probably what would be the healthiest for me, is to break the old patterns that used to work and maybe forge and go through the uncomfortable feelings that of something new. That's actually good for arthritis, which is something in my joints that you have to change it up a bit to make new receptors, so that you got to understand what arthritis is, but it's the same thought over and over again. You wear out your receptors, and the first thing to go is your bones, and my bones and joints have problems. So the best thing for me to do with my health is to really shake it up a bit. And why not go to a class that's a dance that I would love, that apparently is really popular. It's just a different time of the day. Still gets my exercise. Maybe shift my thought to control what you think about in the morning, and maybe look forward to going to that workout when I first wake up, and not actually have to be there when it first wakes up. I mean, there's so many different things that I can change in my mind. And today's the day that I'm setting everything up so that when I do wake up tomorrow, it's going to be a completely different reality. And yeah, it's like my ego is going to get a little stronger, because I'm going to think, yes, I can do it. I am stronger than evil. So let's hope my ego is somewhat in check, that I'm not better than anybody else. I'm just beating my own evil. But it is an example that I wanted to share, because we're all doing this. We all know we're doing some kind of bad behavior that is sustaining this network, this matrix. And it does take me changing the one thing in my life that's not working, and it takes you changing one thing in your life that's not working. Because we all have these addictions that we're tied to, and it's our beliefs. Something is making you believe in something. And I believe I need to have a cigarette every time I don't believe in myself, or I get stressed, or I feel like the world is much bigger than me and I can't change it and it's evil. I mean, but it doesn't mean it's true. And now it's time for me to be stronger and start using those voices. I've done what I wanted to do, and it's time to move on to the next stage of my development and my improvement. And once I get rid of the smoking addiction, it's going to create another little problem for me to have to overcome. But I'll deal with that when that comes. Right now, that's something that I'm working on with myself, is that fucking smoking addiction. Gaining some power over myself and the evil I face with on a regular basis. Peace out. May you all make your own shifts, at whatever they are. No judgments. Peace out.